So I'm reading this now. The Supreme Court has struck down the Trump tariffs. I'm going to see if I can find the opinion here and go over it with you. Apologize for the format. I'm fresh out of the hospital with some minor surgery. Nothing major. 170 pages, okay. Download. So this is learning resources versus Trump. The question presented is whether the IEEPA authorizes the president to impose tariffs. Shortly after taking office, Trump sought to address two foreign threats, the influx of illegal drugs. These are the stated goals. I don't know how much these are actual real goals, but okay. The president determined these things and invoked his authority under the IEEPA. He imposed tariffs, 25%, 10%, dozens of nations. Petitioners filed suit, learning resources and VOS selections, sued in different courts, held. The IEEPA does not authorize the president to impose tariffs. The judgments are vacated and the cases remanded with instructions to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. Let's see. Article 1, Section 8 specifies that Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes, imposts and excises. The framers recognized the unique importance of this taxing power, a power which very clearly includes the power to impose tariffs. They gave Congress alone access to the pockets of the people. The framers did not vest any part of the taxing power in the executive branch. The government thus concedes that the president enjoys no inherent authority to impose tariffs during peacetime. Instead, relies exclusively on IEEPA to defend the challenge tariffs. It reads the words regulate an importation to effect a sweeping delegation of Congress's power to set tariff policy, authorizing the president to impose tariffs of unlimited amount and duration on any product from any country. The court has long expressed reluctance to read into ambiguous statutory text extraordinary delegations of Congress powers. In several cases described as involving major questions, the court has reasoned that both separation of powers principles and a practical understanding of legislative intent suggests Congress would not have delegated highly consequential power through ambiguous language. These considerations apply with particular force where, as here, the purported delegation involves the core congressional power of the purse. Congressional practice confirms as much. When Congress has delegated its tariff powers, it has done so in explicit terms. Against that backdrop, the government reads the IEEPA to give the president power to unilaterally impose unbounded tariffs and change them at will. This view would represent a transformative expansion of the president's authority. The lack of historical precedent, coupled with a breadth of authority that the president now claims, suggests that the tariffs extend beyond the president's legitimate reach. There is no exception to the major questions doctrine for emergency statutes. The framers gave Congress alone the power to impose tariffs during peacetime, and the foreign affairs implications of tariffs do not make it any more likely that Congress would relinquish its power through vague language or without careful limits. Accordingly, the president must point to clear congressional authorization to justify his extraordinary assertion of this power. He cannot. The IEPA authorizes the president to investigate, block during the pendency of an investigation, direct, compel, nullify, void, prevent importation, exportation. The power to regulate importation does not fill the void. The term regulate means to fix, establish, or control, to adjust by method or rule, to direct by rule or restriction, to subject to governing principles or laws. The court is skeptical that in the IEPA, Congress hid a delegation of its birthright power to tax within the quotidian power to regulate. It notes here that the IEPA alone, so they're really limiting the ruling to the IEPA. While taxes may accomplish regulatory ends, it does not follow that the power to regulate includes the power to tax as a means of regulation. So, skipping through a lot of this, I'm going to skip all the way to the end, if I can. I'll make a longer video. The judgment of the appeals court for the federal circuit in case 25250 is affirmed. The judgment in the District of Columbia in 24-1287 is vacated. The case is remanded with instructions to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction. Okay. So to me that says if he doesn't have the power to impose tariffs, then the tariffs are void. And that means everybody gets their money back. And I don't know how that's going to happen if he has spent the money already. We'll see how that's going to play out. Here's part 3. The president asserts the extraordinary power to unilaterally impose tariffs of unlimited amount, duration, and scope. In light of the breadth, history, and constitutional context of that asserted authority, he must identify clear congressional authorization to exercise it. IEEPA's grant of authority to regulate importation falls short. We claim no special competence in matters of economics or foreign affairs. We claim only, as we must, the limited role assigned to us by Article 3 of the Constitution. Fulfilling that role, we hold that IEEPA does not authorize the President to impose tariffs. So if there's some other authority, he can point to it, but he has not, as far as I know. He's only invoked the emergency powers, and they have been invoked incorrectly, as in it's not the correct circumstances to invoke them. So, chaos, it's going to be chaos. Are you going to pay back all the tariffs? Everyone's going to have to make a claim, or expect more shenanigans from the Trump administration. Maybe they'll figure out some way to make it complicated to get your money back, and there'll have to be another court case where this will have to go back up to the Supreme Court or something, where they have to tell him, we meant what we said in so many words. So, yeah. Anyway, short video on that today. I'm out of commission for a day or two. I'll see you next week. I'm going to post some shorts too. I love you all. Good ruling by the Supreme Court. Have fun reading it. I'll try perusing it as well if I can. 170 pages is a lot, even if that's mostly dissenting opinions. Anyway, love you all. Have a good one. Bye.